I chose to go into isolation and confinement with 5 other people, and I was trained to do that. And your mission to save yourself and stay healthy and help save the human race is extremely important. So I know you didn't choose it, but thank you for being on this mission.
Hey, welcome back to Simulated Mars. So this is the airlock. This is where we go to put on our spacesuits, or spacesuits, depends on which style we're wearing on that particular day, before we go on EVA, which is through that door.
I'm a rehabilitation physician and a simulated astronaut. To practice going to Mars. We ran simulations like this before we went to the moon. We ran simulations like this before we went to Skylab. We ran simulations like this before we went to the International Space Station. So simulations usually, always, at least to date, precede actual missions. And the dome, which is about 1,200 square feet, not really of usable space. It's a 2-story dome with a big rig trailer attached where we kept all of our supplies and our power conversion equipment.
These are our nice white spacesuits with the big bowl helmets. When you put water in them, they're really heavy. Not as heavy as a real spacesuit, but heavy.
We were definitely isolated from the rest of the human race. We saw no one else for that 366 days and only spoke to other people with a 20-minute time delay or over email video chat like we are now, but very delayed. People are the most precious thing in the universe. I couldn't have survived without my crewmates, and also knowing that all of Earth was waiting for us when we got back, even when times got tough. Just telling her about a regular day, things that were normal. I was trying to kind of orient her by walking her around the dome, showing her my crewmates, describing what a day was like. Goodbye, I love you.
So I'm here in Hawaii on the Hawaii Space Exploration analog simulation to discover what it's like to be a space doctor. This is the first time I've been alone as a physician. Here it's just me. And similarly for Anjay, the engineer, he's the only engineer on Mars, and Carmel is the only soil scientist on Mars, and Tristan is the only architect on Mars, and so it goes. Cyprian is the only astrobiologist. We're all together alone here.
Habcom DM, Habcom DM. We copy. Roxanne Log going outside with us, hatches open.
That's the strange thing about being in space is, maybe you're not physically there, but anyone who's ever gone to summer camp or college or away to another city on business knows that missing things is also relative. And so we would record ourselves having dinner.
Who the hell is that? Did we get a 7th crew member in the dome?
You mean the one with short hair?
Yeah.
Or record ourselves celebrating and send it back to our families. And for the holidays, Hanukkah and Christmas, our families recorded themselves and sent them back to us. So we were able to be there, just virtually different, a little bit like how we're all living now. The biggest difference is that I chose to go into isolation and confinement with 5 other people, and I was trained to do that. And you all didn't choose it. I'm sorry. It's one thing to try to be an astronaut. It's another thing to be an accidental astronaut. If you didn't sign up for the mission, that's not fair. It's also really important. Our work was important, and your work right now, your mission to save yourself and stay healthy and help save the human race is extremely important. So I know you didn't choose it, but thank you for being on this mission and joining me in this mission. We don't get to do this very often. all over the world, all over the country, regardless of who you are, what you believe, what you do. This scale of joint venture is the kind of thing that will be required to actually become an interplanetary species. We're all going to have to do a thing together and agree to do that thing, agree on the terms, talk about the hardships and the cost and whether or not we think it's worth it. The same kind of conversations we're having now, though I hope we're doing it because we're choosing to do it. I hope we're not forced to do it the way we are now.
And that is about it. We keep it pretty simple up here in Eskimos.